on mute when not speaking. Second, don't interrupt others while speaking. Third, be attentive throughout the meeting. And fourth, support the speakers with your smiles and warm jazz hands. Let's have a great meeting. Now for our club president, Peter Shee.
Hello, thank you everybody for coming back. I would just like to make one time for the two new people who have joined this club. How about Kai and Dayton? Just say your name, your grade, and one thing you love to do. Whichever one of you want to go first.
I'll go ahead and go. My name is Dayton Maddox. I'm 15 years old. I'm in 10th grade. I played sports my whole life. I've been in Nashville my whole life also, so that's just a little bit about me.
Nice. Kai?
Hi, my name is Kai Maddox, and I'm in 6th grade, and I like to play instruments and listen to music, and I've also been in Nashville my entire life.
Nice. Okay. With that being said, I would just like to pass the podium to our Toastmaster for today, Alan G.
Toastmaster today, y'all. Right on to business. I would like to introduce our grammarian, Michael.
Before we do that, I want to address something for the in-person locations. Let's not leave our podium empty. So Toastmaster, before you come down, you shake the hand, wait for next a row coming up and shake hand. I have a hand sanitizer here, so don't worry. All right, thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Liu, and I will be your grammarian for today. As your grammarian, I will watch for the use of proper grammar during speeches and evaluations. I will watch also for interjections such as and such words that are used as filler words when one's thought is not able to be expressed properly. I will also watch for the use of the word of the day, which for today is defile. It is a verb meaning to make something dirty or to take away or ruin the purity, honor, or goodness of something. An example of this sentence would be, students often throw their trash on the ground, defiling the campus in the progress. Back to you, Toastmaster. Thank you, grammarian. We will now go on to, we have two general speakers for today. Our first speaker, I believe.
No, we just have one, right?
Okay. First, I will introduce our timer, Xavier Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. As the timer for our times portions, since we have actually two speakers today, or no, one. We have our one educational lesson today. Our time for today will be from 12 to 15 minutes. But here's what the usual times would look like on a normal week. From time speeches, usually 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, my background will turn green.
10, 12 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, like I was explaining the whole time ago, like for our normal weeks and the education. Yeah. So from our normal speeches, it would usually be 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, my background would turn green. If I could, there we go. At 6 minutes, it would turn yellow. And at 7 minutes, it would turn red, in which you have 30 seconds to finish your speech. For the table topic sessions, each table topics response will be 1 to 2 minutes, 1 minute being green, 1.5 minutes being yellow, and 2 minutes being red. Same with our evaluations. And then for our educational sessions, should usually do 12 to 15 minutes. At 13 minutes, it will turn green. At 14, it will turn yellow, and at 15, it will turn red. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Taylor. I suppose we will go on to the prepared portion of this meeting. Introducing Amazang for our educational portion.
Thank you, Postmaster Allen. I would like to move this podium away because this education session is about your body speaks. Now, can you see my body now?
Yes.
Great, great. Let me ask you, who has watched the movie Home Alone, the first one? Everybody, do you remember Old Man Marley? This man, in the movie, he was sharpening the ice on the sidewalk for the whole neighborhood. He's a very nice man. It's a winter day. The sidewalks were covered with ice and snow. Over there next, in the next house, in the attic, Kevin and his brother are watching him. Kevin's brother is telling Kevin, this man, Old Man Marley, he's a murderer. He has murdered several people. He put their dead body in that trash can filled with ice and the salt. The salt is turning the dead bodies to mummies. He has not been caught yet. It's just a matter of time. He will do it again. And this time, Old Man Marley looked up at them, and all these boys, they got startled. They screamed, closed the curtain, and ran away. Old Man Marley has this frown on his face, and his jaws clenched, and he sighed. I'll remember that. What's my point? My point is his body language show he's truly a murderer, not some nice man, right? But actually, he's a very nice man. If he had put on his smile on the face and waved to the kids, he would be perceived as a nice man and not has such a bad reputation among the kids in the neighborhood. That leads me to my topic today, which is your body speaks. You probably want to say, I know that my body speaks, but my question is, have you ever paid attention to your body when you are giving a speech, especially when you are giving a speech? Probably not, right? Why is that? Because we're so busy finishing the speech. We don't have time and energy to pay attention to what our body is doing. But our body is an important instrument. Our voice is an important instrument, and so is our body. How do we use this body so that this body will be in harmony with our voice and our message can come across to our audience nicely? So in order to pay attention to our body, we have to understand how our body functions when we are giving a speech. How does our body function? Everybody feel it? Most of people feel stressed, right? Pressure, nervous. Our hearts start to race, pumping really fast. Our mouth gets dry. We feel shaking, we feel sweating. All these are normal. Even the top entertainers, they admit that they feel nervous when they come to the stage, before they come to the stage. So it is a human nature, it's a natural response to feel that way. But once we understand how our body functions, we can do something about it, right? Another thing about, you probably notice your hands are sweating and your heart is racing. but you probably didn't notice when you come to the stage, but when you feel nervous, your chest start to close. Your whole body start to close and your neck sticking out. This posture is actually a natural response when you are in danger. We're trying to protect our heart and vital organs, right, in face of danger. But what does this posture tell people? It tells people that I'm scared. I'm under the pressure. I feel danger. So if you notice that, you can do something about it. You can open up your chest, open up your heart, let your heart to go out to the world. Isn't that a beautiful thing? To open up your heart. Okay, open the heart to the world, open the heart to the audience. It's a heart-to-heart conversation when you're doing your speech. In China, we say open heart, that means happy, feel happy. In America, we say follow your heart, follow your gut feeling, right? Your heart and your guts are your spirits. Let it be open to the world. That will show your authenticity. Now, we have to understand how our body functions before we give speech. We can do something. I want to share with you some techniques that will help you, because as a dancer, I have been performing for many years, and I still have several performances every year. But before every performance, I still have that butterfly in my heart. I'm wondering, am I gonna do my techniques all right? Am I gonna finish that difficult moves this time? So I still feel nervous every time, but I focus on my breathing. This breathing technique will help you to regulate your breathing and then your whole body. So the secret is breathe in through your nose for 1 count, breathe out through your mouth for 3 counts. Why is that? Because when you exhale, when you breathe out, your body relaxes. So let's all do an experiment. Can we all stand up? At least the people in the virtual location, in the in-person location. Let's all do some experiments. All right. Okay. Now, keep your feet apart. Yes. Okay. Shoulder width, and your knees are straight but not locked. Your belly button in, and your chest is up but not bulking out. Your shoulder naturally down, your arms down naturally, and your fingers are curled naturally as well. Now pull your neck back and up. Now you can close your eyes. You can close your eyes. Not look at the ceiling, but pull the neck. Instead of doing this, sticking to the front, pull your neck back. Pull your neck back. Okay. All right. Okay, you can close your eyes. Now, breathe in the nose, 1. Breathe out through mouth, 2, 3, 4. In, out, out, out. In, out, out, out. In, out, out, out. Okay, you may open your eyes and sit down. How that make you feel? A little more relaxed,
Very nice.
right?
Very nice.
So, thank you. Yeah, it works for me every time. So next time if you feel nervous, you can use that technique to regulate your breathing. Now remember still, the number one thing, when you come to the podium, a lot of people do this. They come to the podium, they slouch, and they hold their podium like this, and the entire time, right? So remember, open your chest, open your heart, open your whole being to the world and audience. All right, so far we have talked about, we understand we have self-awareness of our body function. And we talk about some of the techniques we can use to regulate how our body, right? And then you probably want to ask, well, sometimes I still got nervous during the speech. How do I keep that nerve out? The secret is focus on your audience, not yourself. You probably want to say, well, it's still me doing the speech, still me speaking, but actually it is your audience that's receiving your message. Realizing that really take the burden off your shoulder immediately, because it's not about you. Everything's not about you. It's about your audience. If you feel, oh, I still want to think about what I want to say, what I'm going to say, how to say it. Well, this is not the time. You should have done that during the preparation stage, right? You should have do all your work when you're preparing. Write your key message down. If you're not clear about your key message, your audience will be confused as well. Write your key message down and write your sub points, the structure. Sometimes you even have to write out the entire speech so you are clear how to move from one part to the other. All that preparation is to make sure you know you have that clear, crystal clear message. Once you are clear about that, you can show your passion, show your authenticity during the speech. Right? You can focus on your audience by making an eye contact and the facial expressions and observing your audience, right? Receiving the feedback. Okay. So we have talked about a lot of things, and I think that's all I want to cover today. I do need a second session so I can get into the details about body movement. There are 4 things: facial expression, your eye contact, your hand gesture, and your body movement. So that's in the next session. And I will use some of the recordings of us for some analysis. Please don't feel like this is embarrassing or horrifying. This is for learning. We're all learning this together, and I am too. So we will do that in the next session. But today we have covered, again, understand, be aware how our body works. And second, use some techniques. And third, prepare your speech or focus on your audience. I hope you will apply those 4 things in your very next speech. Don't wait until project number 5. Use it, because this is our universal for all the good speeches. Apply this in your very next speech. Thank you very much.
Back to me, your friendly Toastmaster. Now we will go on to our table topic session, headed by Peter.
Thank you for that. Oh yeah. Yeah. So our table topic session is where we just ask a really random question, and then you answer in 1 to 1.5 minutes, I believe. Before we go on, Dayton and Kai, would you like to participate in this or no? Yes. Okay. All right. So my first question is, favorite song and why. So First question, what is your favorite song and why? Um, Matthew, you take it away.
What is my favorite song and why? My favorite song is Love Yours by J. Cole. I am a very adamant J. Cole fan. I love his music because he most of his songs he portrays the right message, and especially in Love Yours, he especially portrays the right message. He talks about how we should appreciate everything around us, that we should appreciate the house that we live in. We should appreciate the family around us. And instead of trying to achieve more all the time, we should instead look at what we have. And in that, we can actually achieve more. Because one line he says, there's always another house that's bigger than yours, but it's only important that you have the people inside your house that you love. That is most important. And that is my favorite song and why.
Okay, thank you for that. I personally hate that song. To each their own. So our next question is, Dayton, you said that you play a sport. Which sport do you play in?
I play golf at the moment, but I've played a lot of different sports throughout my whole life. So
What I expected. Okay. Okay. What is a role model in golf that you look after, or someone you model your game after?
well, I guess I would say the greatest golfer of all time, in my opinion, is Tiger Woods, of course. But I believe he's a great role model because of his mentality that he has on the golf course. He not only plays great, but he doesn't let the little things, I guess, get to his head. And I would say golf is a heavily dependent on your mental game, and I think his mental game is really strong, and he shows that on the golf course. I think me personally, I think he's the biggest role model of golf, in my opinion.
Okay, so this one is for, let's do Michael. What is the worst advice that you have been given?
Thank you for that question, Mr. Table Topics Master. I actually won't throw anyone under the bus today because I don't receive that much advice personally in my life. I perhaps have at some point received really bad advice, but personally I don't remember much of that incident because usually advice is quite simple. It's given and willingly received. And I say willingly because if it's bad advice, I just won't take it. So usually I just forget about it in a matter of days. The closest I can come to bad advice is perhaps when I receive sheet music from someone else and they've written fingerings that are clearly ridiculous. That's happened to me last week in one of the pieces I received. I received it from my teacher and someone else had already written their own finger on it. It was simply an uncomfortable and also unconventional fingering for that particular passage, and I simply just crossed it out and wrote my own in because I knew mine was better. So that is my experience with bad advice. Thank you, Table Talk Master.
All right. So this question is for Anson, and as said by 21 Savage, he'd rather have loyalty than love. So, my question is, would you rather be loved by all, or would you have the loyalty of all? This question is for Anson.
Thank you, Topics Master. In my opinion, I would rather have loyalty over love for many reasons. One,
if you ever have financial issues, there's always something to look forward to. And also, I wouldn't have, like, I don't really care about love because, like, you can survive without being loved by someone. But, like, loyalty, you know, when you go through hard times, loyalty is the way to go. Uh, and also, when you're lonely, you always have that 7 billion people to look forward to play sports with you, to study. Whenever you're like, whenever you're down, there's always that much people. Yeah. Whenever you trip or fall down, maybe like, so so yeah, that's just my thinking. I feel like loyalty is more important than love. I'll point this one toward Xavier. Okay, whatever. Okay. My next question is thoughts on mayonnaise. Do you like it? Don't like it? What? What do you think about it? My question is to Xavier Taylor.
Okay, thank you for that question. So this is just gonna be a short answer. I hate mayonnaise. I don't like the taste of it. I don't like the look of it. I just don't like mayonnaise at all. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you. Thank you.
No, okay, okay.
I,
No.
No analysis, okay. I completely agree with that. I don't like mayonnaise. I'm looking for someone who actually likes mayonnaise. Something to know. I thought you liked mayonnaise, but okay. Next one. If you could hang out with one person in the entire world for a day, who would it be? Again, if you could hang out with one person in the entire world, who would it be? I'll direct this question toward Kai.
In my opinion, if I could hang out with anyone in the world for one day, it would probably be John Coltrane because I really love his music and I personally do play saxophone. And so it would just be I feel it would be a great experience.
Okay, so this next question is, what are you most excited for college? This question is directed toward Joseph. I believe you said you were here, I believe. So college is coming up for you. So what are you most excited for?
Thank you, Toastmaster. However, I am not, next year isn't going to be my freshman year of college. I'm only in 10th grade this year. So next year will be my junior year, but I will talk about what I'll be looking for the rest of my high school years. So I'm currently in 10th grade. The workload is piling up. Next year, junior year is probably going to be the most stressful from what I've heard. And senior year is probably going to be a little less stressful, but you have the college applications, which I'm very much looking forward to. But you know, college applications, I've already been studying for, you know, taking all those SAT prep classes my mom forces me to, and, you know, researching all these different colleges, you know, internships, whatever helps me to stand out, I guess, stand out to the colleges. And yes, I do want to get into a good college, but that'll definitely take a lot of work in my junior and senior years. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'll grind it. I'll, you know, grind it all day, all night. So thank you for the question.
Thank you for the answer. Okay, so this next question is, what is one thing that you could not live without? But this one thing has to be something specific to you. So this can't be the likes of water. Of course you need water to live. This can't be oxygen. Of course you need oxygen to live. So what is one specific thing that you need in order to live? I'll direct this question toward Horace Taylor.
Thank you for the question. What is one thing that I cannot live without? I cannot live without kids who do not like mayonnaise. Here's why. I think mayonnaise is the best food in the world. Just think about how you create it. A chicken drops an egg, and that egg can become your mayonnaise, right? You spin it and beat it and beat it and spin it, and maybe you put a little ingredients in it, but it'll turn into not another chicken, but mayonnaise. And mayonnaise is my favorite food. This is what I do with mayonnaise. I stick my thumb into the jar of mayonnaise and I pop it in just like that. It's so satisfying, so satisficing. Mayonnaise is the bomb. And as far as John Coltrane, let me tell you, he used to eat mayonnaise on 2 fingers. He would go like this. That's why he played so well. So the point of table topics, and I hope my timer is still watching me, is to just speak for 1 to 2 minutes, not necessarily just to give us I don't like mayonnaise, that's that. The goal is to occupy that 1 to 2 minute time span. And I know you don't like mayonnaise, but I love mayonnaise. So you know we're gonna have a fight later on tonight because I'm gonna shove hot dogs with mayonnaise inside it down your throat. And you will learn to love mayonnaise. Back to you, topics master.
Hey, thank you for that answer. Taylor, looks like it's gonna be a terrifying dinner for Xavier too. So my next question is, what is one idea that has changed in the last year, during the last year? So again, that is, what is one idea about life that has changed over the span of the last year? This question will be directed toward Miss Anna Shi.
Thank you. Table topic master. What is the one thing or idea that has changed in the last year? One thing and idea that has changed in the last year for me is to realize, hey, I can have a lot of fun with my boys, even when they have almost grown up. Through this Gavel Club. In this Gavel Club, I do the speeches and they do the speeches. So we're kind of growing together. I'm not a good speaker, but we can always be a better speaker. And to be honest with you, at the beginning of the Gavel Club, I told my kids, hey, let's do this. And they were a little reluctant, but I guess they still listen to their mama. So they said, okay. So they joined, but I can see them, they love this platform. Why is that? That is because when you are conducting a speech in front of everybody, it is exhilarating, isn't it? It is freeing. It is something that you conquered. Conquer something you were afraid of doing before, and that is a great feeling. And I'm just glad that my kids used to say no, but now they say yes. So that's something that has changed over the last year, and I'm glad I'm part of it. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. So for my next question, for the context, I have seen a lot of my friends go through the college application process, and there's this one part where you have to answer several different questions for the college. One such question is, how would you describe yourself in, let's put it into 2 words. How would you describe yourself in 2 words? That question is directed toward Renee, Miss Toastmaster Renee Taylor. Miss Renee Taylor, you are muted.
Sorry about that, Toastmasters. I was having technical difficulty. Can you repeat the question again?
Oh, the question was that, how would you describe yourself in 2 words and why?
2 words. Wow. How would I describe myself in 2 words? Loving, kind. I am loving and I am kind. What do I love more than anything in this world? I absolutely love my family. Where would I be without my family? I have no idea. But my family means the world to me, and I exude love to them every day. In fact, I love my family so much that I gave up teaching because it consumed so much of my time. It was no work-life balance, and I could not spend time with my family. And that was simply not okay. I'm also kind because I would give anyone the shirt off my back if they needed it. I genuinely would like to see everyone happy. There's too much life to live to be sad or angry or mad about anything, because tomorrow is not promised to anyone. So what I would submit to our Toastmaster audience today is live life, love, be kind, and listen to John Coltrane, because that's good music. Thank you, Mr. Topic Master.
Thank you for that answer. So, for my next question, the question is, what is the weirdest and wackiest dream that you've ever had? An example for me would be, I was being chased by a living cucumber and it stabbed me. That's an example just for reference. This question is directed toward Jonathan. Take it away.
Thank you for that question. Actually, I haven't, thinking about it, I haven't been dreaming really a lot for like the past like 5 years of my life, so it's a little hard to think about a random dream. But if I were to call on a dream, I would say it was one I remember when I was like going on a roller coaster with my entire family, and we go through like a landmine, and there was like pickles in the dream. It was so weird. It's really hard to recall, but yeah, there's some really wacky dreams I had before, but fortunately I don't really have too many dreams right now. But yeah, thank you for the question.
Thank you. I believe that is time for our table topic session. And at that, I will return the podium or virtual podium to Xavier Taylor. Yes, for the now. Okay, yeah, I'll pass the podium to Alan G.
Thank you. I will pass the podium to the general evaluator, Forrest Taylor.
Okay, so as a general evaluator, I was taking copious notes, and I hope I'm direct and to the point, because I know our time is about to run out. So here goes. We started on time, which is always a good time and a good thing to do, because everybody's time is very valuable and we don't want to waste anyone's time. In the intro, we even had a quick introduction from our guests, Mr. Kai Maddox and Mr. Dayton Maddox. If I may ask one question, Mr. Kai, your full first name, is it Kai or Cairo or Kai Antipodes?
My full first name is Kai.
Kai, excellent. The reason I asked, I have a grandbaby. He's now 1 year old and his name is Cairo. And I just assumed maybe it was Cairo. Thank you for that. From that intro of the very important guests who we call our VIGs, then we got into the timer's role, and he gave us, or at least he shared with everybody the red, green, and yellow and explained what that meant. Then we got into that very interesting, much needed training session where distinguished Toastmaster Anna Zhang talked to us about breathing techniques in particular, because I had to stand on my head and try to breathe downside up, and I was having very hard problems doing so. But I got it in the end, because when I right myself, when I got turned back up the right way, then I can breathe normally, and I was ready to start spouting words. She also told us that she will return in a future session, because this was the first part, and then in the second part, she will get into more of the facial expressions like this. What am I thinking? What am I saying? Or hand gestures like 3 fingers and 2 noses, right? And even more incorporating it all into body languages as she will conclude that session. Then we got into that most interesting table topic session where we heard from everybody from 21 Savage to John Coltrane to J. Cole. I didn't know we have so much musicianship in the house today. Lastly, I think the meeting went really, really well. And since I do believe we may be a minute or 2 ahead of time, and I know
Matthew needs to give the evaluation, speech evaluation. Huh?
absolutely, and I was just about to go there. And I was gonna ask that Matthew, please occupy the podium as you give your evaluation.
Thank you, Horace Taylor, for that general evaluation. And now I would like to evaluate Anna Zhang and her speech titled "How the Body Speaks," or how a body speaks. The topic was about how the body can influence a speech and the message behind it. You talked about the techniques that can be used to better a speech. The great points, or the great areas about your speech was how you connected your personal activities with the topics. I really love the experiment with the breathing. I believe it was incredibly clever, and I believe it captivated the audience's it captivated the audience. And with clarity, you were very clear and you were very passionate about your speech. And through this, and this is shown through your preparation, because it was very prepared. It had structure. I love the start of the speech where you talked about Home Alone, because it's a movie that almost everybody has seen, and so they can recognize the point that you can make. Your gestures were very on point. It was pretty funny because you were using gestures to show how we can use gestures in a gesture speech. So, and some things that you can improve on. This is kind of picky, but I believe your strength can kind of be your weakness in some areas. Your speech was kind of all in. You tried to do almost everything imaginable in the speech. You moved the podium. You told everybody to breathe and stand up in a virtual session. And although I really liked how it was very all in, sometimes this is an informative speech, so there can be boundaries to this type of speech. But overall, I love the speech and I think that you're improving a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now can I have the grammarian to come forward?
Hello, I'm Michael Lee, your grammarian for today, and nobody as of yet has used the word of the day in any of their speeches or evaluations. However, I will give a list of the transition word, there's one myself, interjections that everyone used. Miss Anna and our Toastmaster Alan, in their extensive speaking, impressively used 0 of filler words. Peter, in his role as table topics master, used 8 ums, 2 uhs, and 4 so's. Matthew, during his table topics and evaluation, used 4 uhs and 1 Dayton, in his table topics, gave 4 ums and 4 uhs. I myself just did another totals me to 2. Anson gave 5 likes, 4 uhs, and 1 yeah. Xavier and Kai both used no filler words. Joseph used 1 3 ums, and 4 you knows. Horace, in his savage table topics, used 0 filler words, however, did use 1 during his general evaluation. Toastmaster Renee did not use any filler words, and Jonathan used 2 ums, 2 uhs, and 2 likes. That concludes my grammarian's report. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now it's time that I turn this back over to the club president, because I think, as we all know, we had a very smooth operation today. But before turning it over, can we, if the guest doesn't mind, I know you gave a very short, brief, hi, I'm in this grade, I'm in Nashville, I've been in Nashville all, but you have the floor now to share a little bit more, perhaps how you learned of this club, if you care to, and what brought you to Toastmasters, or anything that you would like to share with us. Let's go with Mr. Dayton first.
So I said again. My mother signed us up for Toastmasters. I don't know really how she came upon this club, but she informed us that we're going to be starting. I feel like it would be very beneficial to me. I'm not the greatest public speaker. All my life, I feel like I've had a little bit of nerves and tension built up in my body, and forces me to not be able to speak as great. I feel like I'm very now I feel like I'm much better at doing public speaking, I guess. That's pretty much all I would have to say. I don't know if Kyle wants to say anything.
Thank you so much. Mr. Kai?
So I heard of this program from my parents. They told me a good amount about it. I heard that some of my friends were going to be in it too, and I just wanted to, pretty much the same as what my brother said, to learn how to speak with groups of people and in front of other people, and learn how to not be so tensed up or like getting confused and stuff like that during a speech or talking in front of a group of people.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Okay, that wraps it up for me. Now let me turn it back over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you for your general report. I will now turn it over to Peter Sheep for announcements and adjournment.
Okay, so I want to thank you all for coming, but to attest to what Dayton and I were saying, and Xavier's heard me say this all the time at the gathering where we tried to get our Gavel Club out there, where I actually ran for class president, and I actually feel like this club did help a little bit. And there are some things where I could have improved on. Actually, right there, I was locking my knees during that speech, and about a minute in, my knees started to shake and I was scared. Because I've been an outgoing person, and I didn't feel that nervous or scared. Well, I did feel nervous, but I didn't feel like scared. But then all of a sudden, because I was locking my knees started to shake. I just started leaning on the podium and stuff like that. I thought I was gonna embarrass myself and fall on my face in front of 400 people, and that would not have helped me a lot. So I feel like this club has helped me a lot through just speaking and overall body language. But moving on, we would like to assign roles for the next week. Who would like to be the Toastmaster? Thank you, Alan, for being the Toastmaster this week. But who would like to be the Toastmaster next week? Xavier Taylor, thank you for volunteering for this challenging role. Next, can we get a general evaluator, as Horace was this week? So who would like to be it next week? Okay, Michael Leo would take general evaluator for next week. For grammarian, who would like to be grammarian? Anson, thank you for volunteering. Is this your first role? Okay, congratulations for Anson for taking this role. Okay, so next one is timer. Of course, as always, we would like to be online. Is that arranged from Toastmaster Renee Taylor or no? Kai, thank you for volunteering. Can we get a round of applause for Kai? Amazing guy. Okay, so thank you for. I think someone will have to show you how to do that.
I'll follow up with you, Kai.
Okay, unless you already know, unless you're already adept in Zoom meetings, as I am not. But moving on, who would like to be our? We already have grammarian timer.
I have speaker, right?
Oh yeah. Are we doing a educational or are we doing two speakers?
Let's see. Joseph is gonna do a speech icebreaker.
Okay.
Joseph already told Maddie. That's one speaker.
So
Do we have
one more
another speaker?
if okay.
Joseph,
Thank
Jonathan.
you. The two brothers.
All
Coming
right.
in strong. So the speaker one will be Joseph and the speaker two will be Jonathan. So can we find an evaluator for speaker one? Okay, so Matthew would be evaluator for speaker one and I'll be evaluator for speaker two. So it can be like two brothers. I just thought that was cool. But I believe that is table topics master. So who would like to be the table topics master? I mean, thank you for your valiant raise of the hand, but
Joseph,
I believe
can we have your name in the following meeting as a table topic master?
okay.
Okay.
Can someone who has not had a role volunteer for table topics master? Okay, Miss Anna will be our table topics master for next week. Okay, I believe that is all the roles. If I'm not, she's already graduated. He's already. Yeah, he's already.
Right.
I believe the table topics master again.
No.
Okay.
Just make sure all the youth have something.
Okay, Alan doesn't have anything.
Alan?
Yeah, I already have it.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
Alan seems to be forced into that role, but so Alan will do that. I think. Okay, I think that is everything, and we are 3 minutes before the deadline. But I'm gonna just let you all go. Thank you all for coming. Special thanks to Kai and Dayton for showing up. Hope to see you in future meetings, and thank you for coming. You are all dismissed.
Hi, Dayton. Dayton, are you gonna send the email address to Matthew, the one who sent out the agenda, or you gonna put it in the chat here? Your email address, or you already did? Your father's email address. Okay.